What if I told you that one of the most revolutionary minds of our time has been unknowingly following a blueprint written nearly a century ago? A blueprint that transformed ordinary dreamers into titans of industry, that turned impossible visions into inevitable realities, and that continues to shape the destiny of those bold enough to embrace its principles. Today, we're about to uncover how Elon Musk's extraordinary journey mirrors the profound teachings of Napoleon Hill, revealing patterns so striking they seem almost orchestrated by the universe itself. Picture this: a young boy in South Africa, bullied at school, finding refuge in books and dreams of distant planets. Fast forward decades, and that same boy has revolutionized electric vehicles, transformed space exploration, and reshaped how humanity communicates through social media. This isn't just a success story. It's a masterclass in the application of timeless success principles that Napoleon Hill meticulously studied and documented through his analysis of the world's most successful individuals. The question that haunts every ambitious mind eventually surfaces: what separates those who dream from those who achieve? What invisible force propels certain individuals beyond the boundaries of ordinary possibility, while others remain trapped in the prison of their own limitations? The answer lies not in luck, privilege, or circumstance, but in the deliberate application of specific mental and emotional principles that Napoleon Hill identified as the common denominators of extraordinary achievement. As we dissect Musk's trajectory through this profound lens, you'll discover that his seemingly impossible accomplishments weren't accidents of genius or strokes of fortune. They were the inevitable result of mindset patterns, strategic thinking, and unwavering commitment to principles that have guided humanity's greatest achievers for generations. Every setback he transformed into a setup, every failure he alchemized into fuel, every dream he materialized into reality, all following patterns that Napoleon Hill documented with scientific precision. Prepare to witness how the mind of a visionary operates, how the principles of success transcend time and technology, and how you can apply these same fundamental truths to transform your own aspirations into achievements. This isn't merely an analysis. It's a revelation that will forever change how you perceive possibility, persistence, and the power of unwavering purpose. In the depths of every extraordinary achievement lies what Napoleon Hill identified as the starting point of all accomplishment: a burning desire so intense it consumes every fiber of one's being. When we examine Elon Musk's early years, we witness this principle manifesting with remarkable clarity. His wasn't merely a wish or a casual interest in technology and space. It was an all-consuming obsession that would define every decision, every sacrifice, and every moment of his existence. Consider the moment when Musk first encountered Isaac Asimov's Foundation series as a teenager. While other young minds might have been entertained by the science fiction, Musk internalized the fundamental premise that a small group of dedicated individuals could alter the trajectory of civilization itself. This wasn't reading for pleasure. It was the ignition of a desire so profound it would eventually reshape multiple industries simultaneously. The intensity of this desire manifested in ways that seemed almost irrational to outside observers. When Musk sold his first company, Zip2, for over $300 million, conventional wisdom would suggest enjoying the fruits of success. Instead, he immediately invested everything into X.com, which would later become PayPal. This wasn't reckless gambling. It was the behavior of someone driven by desire so powerful that financial security paled in comparison to the vision burning within. Napoleon Hill emphasized that burning desire must be definite, specific, and backed by a plan of action. Musk's desires were never vague aspirations about making money or achieving fame. From the beginning, his desires were laser-focused: accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy, make life multiplanetary, and advance artificial intelligence safely. Each desire was specific, measurable, and accompanied by detailed plans for achievement. The power of this burning desire became evident when Musk faced his darkest moments. In 2008, when both Tesla and SpaceX teetered on the brink of bankruptcy, when critics dismissed him as a dreamer who had overextended himself, his burning desire refused to allow surrender. While others saw impossible odds, his desire transformed obstacles into stepping stones, failures into lessons, and setbacks into setups for even greater achievements. What separated Musk from countless other entrepreneurs wasn't superior intelligence or better connections. It was the intensity of his desire. Napoleon Hill observed that weak desires bring weak results, while burning desires create the energy, persistence, and resourcefulness necessary to overcome any obstacle. Musk's desires weren't just strong, they were incandescent, illuminating paths through darkness that others couldn't even perceive. The lesson here transcends business or technology. Those who achieve extraordinary results aren't necessarily more talented or fortunate than others. They're simply driven by desires so intense that failure becomes impossible, because giving up would mean psychological and emotional death. Their desires don't just motivate them, they transform them into unstoppable forces of nature. Napoleon Hill's principle of the Mastermind Alliance reveals itself magnificently in Musk's approach to surrounding himself with exceptional minds. This isn't merely about hiring talented employees. It's about creating synergistic relationships where the combined intelligence and energy of the group exceeds the sum of its parts. Throughout his career, Musk has demonstrated an almost supernatural ability to attract and align brilliant individuals around shared visions. The formation of the PayPal Mafia represents one of the most powerful examples of mastermind alliance in modern business history. This wasn't a coincidence. It was the result of Musk's intuitive understanding that extraordinary achievements require extraordinary alliances. The individuals who worked alongside him at PayPal didn't just disperse after the sale. They went on to found or lead companies like LinkedIn, YouTube, Yelp, and Tesla, creating a network of interconnected success that continues to shape the technology landscape. At SpaceX, Musk's mastermind alliance took on almost mythical proportions. He assembled a team of rocket engineers, material scientists, and visionaries who shared his seemingly impossible dream of making space travel accessible. What made this alliance so powerful wasn't just their individual expertise, it was their collective commitment to a vision that transcended personal ambition. They weren't just building rockets, they were laying the foundation for humanity's future as a multiplanetary species. The mastermind principle at Tesla revealed itself through Musk's ability to attract individuals who possessed not just technical expertise, but also the psychological resilience to persist through seemingly impossible challenges. When the automotive industry dismissed electric vehicles as impractical, Musk's mastermind alliance consisted of individuals who thrived on proving the impossible possible. Their combined energy created breakthroughs that individual genius alone could never have achieved. Napoleon Hill emphasized that mastermind alliances must be built on harmony of purpose, and Musk's greatest triumphs have always emerged from teams united by shared vision rather than mere financial incentives. The engineers who work 18-hour days at SpaceX aren't motivated primarily by paychecks. They're driven by the knowledge that their work contributes to humanity's greatest adventure. This alignment of purpose creates energy that transcends ordinary business relationships. The power of Musk's mastermind alliances becomes even more apparent when we examine his failures. The ventures that struggled were often those where the mastermind alliance was weakest or where harmony of purpose was lacking. Success wasn't determined by the brilliance of the idea alone, but by the strength and alignment of the human connections supporting that idea. Perhaps most remarkably, Musk has demonstrated the ability to create mastermind alliances across completely different industries simultaneously. While leading Tesla's electric vehicle revolution, he's also orchestrating SpaceX's space exploration missions and advancing Neuralink's brain-computer interface technology. This isn't possible through individual effort alone. It requires mastermind alliances so powerful they can operate effectively even when the central figure divides his attention across multiple ventures. The principle of transmuting setbacks into success reveals itself as perhaps the most defining characteristic of Musk's extraordinary journey. Napoleon Hill observed that every adversity carries within it the seed of equivalent or greater benefit, and Musk's career reads like a masterclass in this profound truth. His greatest triumphs have consistently emerged from his darkest moments, transforming what others perceived as catastrophic failures into the foundation stones of revolutionary success. The early days of SpaceX provide a perfect illustration of this principle in action. When the first 3 Falcon 1 rockets failed spectacularly, with millions of dollars and years of work literally exploding before his eyes, conventional wisdom suggested that private space exploration was a fantasy. The aerospace industry watched with a mixture of pity and satisfaction as the upstart entrepreneur learned the harsh realities of rocket science. But Musk's response revealed the true power of transmutation thinking. Instead of viewing these failures as evidence of impossibility, Musk analyzed each explosion as a source of invaluable data. Every failed component, every miscalculation, every moment of destruction became a teacher, providing insights that no amount of theoretical study could have delivered. The 4th Falcon 1 rocket succeeded not despite the previous failures, but because of them. Each setback had been transmuted into wisdom. Each explosion had been transformed into education. The financial crisis of 2008 presented Musk with perhaps his greatest test of transmutation. Both Tesla and SpaceX faced bankruptcy simultaneously. His personal fortune had evaporated, and critics proclaimed the end of his entrepreneurial dreams. Lesser minds would have seen only devastation, but Musk perceived opportunity. The crisis forced him to streamline operations, eliminate inefficiencies, and focus with laser precision on what truly mattered. Napoleon Hill taught that within every setback lies the seed of equivalent or greater benefit, but this seed must be deliberately sought and carefully nurtured. Musk didn't just endure his setbacks. He actively searched for the hidden opportunities they contained. When traditional automotive manufacturers dismissed Tesla as a niche player, he used their dismissal as competitive advantage, developing revolutionary technology while they remained comfortable in their complacency. The principle of transmutation extends beyond business failures to encompass personal attacks and public criticism. When Musk faced intense scrutiny over his Twitter activity, his unconventional management style, or his ambitious timelines, he consistently transmuted criticism into fuel for greater achievement. Each attack seemed to strengthen his resolve. Each doubt seemed to clarify his vision. Each obstacle seemed to reveal new pathways to success. What makes Musk's application of this principle so remarkable is his ability to transmute setbacks in real time. While others might spend months or years recovering from major failures, Musk seems to process, learn, and pivot with extraordinary speed. This isn't just resilience. It's the active practice of finding benefit in adversity, of transforming every setback into a setup for greater success. Napoleon Hill distinguished between general knowledge and specialized knowledge, emphasizing that power comes not from knowing many things, but from knowing specific things deeply and applying them effectively. Musk's approach to specialized knowledge reveals a sophisticated understanding of this principle that has enabled him to revolutionize multiple industries simultaneously while maintaining deep expertise in each domain. Rather than attempting to become the world's foremost expert in every field he enters, Musk has developed an extraordinary ability to rapidly acquire and apply specialized knowledge in focused areas. When he decided to revolutionize space travel, he didn't spend decades studying aerospace engineering in traditional academic settings. Instead, he immersed himself in the specific knowledge required to solve the fundamental problems preventing affordable space access, learning from the best minds in the field while maintaining an outsider's perspective. This approach to specialized knowledge acquisition allowed Musk to identify inefficiencies and assumptions that industry insiders had accepted as immutable truths. While traditional aerospace companies had resigned themselves to expendable rockets and astronomical costs, Musk's specialized knowledge focused on the specific engineering challenges of reusability. He didn't need to know everything about rocketry. He needed to know precisely what was required to make rockets land and fly again. At Tesla, Musk's specialized knowledge centered on the specific barriers preventing electric vehicle adoption. While automotive industry veterans possessed vast general knowledge about car manufacturing, Musk focused intensively on battery technology, electric drivetrains, and charging infrastructure. This specialized focus allowed him to leapfrog established manufacturers who were constrained by their existing knowledge and infrastructure. The power of Musk's specialized knowledge approach becomes evident in his ability to attract and coordinate other specialists. Because he possesses deep knowledge in specific areas, he can effectively communicate with and direct experts in related fields. His specialized knowledge in physics and engineering allows him to bridge disciplines, creating innovative solutions that emerge from the intersection of different specialties. Napoleon Hill emphasized that specialized knowledge must be organized and applied through practical plans of action. Musk's specialized knowledge isn't merely theoretical, it's always directed towards specific objectives. When he learned about battery chemistry, it was to solve the specific problem of energy density in electric vehicles. When he studied rocket propulsion, it was to achieve the specific goal of reducing launch costs by orders of magnitude. Perhaps most remarkably, Musk has demonstrated the ability to transfer specialized knowledge across industries. The engineering principles he learned at SpaceX informed innovations at Tesla, while Tesla's battery technology contributed to SpaceX's missions. This cross-pollination of specialized knowledge has created synergies that have accelerated progress across all his ventures simultaneously. The principle of organized planning reveals itself as the invisible architecture underlying all of Musk's extraordinary achievements. Napoleon Hill emphasized that successful people distinguish themselves not just through their goals, but through their systematic approach to achieving them. Musk's career demonstrates this principle with remarkable consistency, showing how organized planning transforms impossible dreams into inevitable realities. When Musk announced his intention to make life multiplanetary, critics dismissed it as the fantasy of a wealthy dreamer. However, those who understood organized planning recognized the systematic approach underlying this seemingly impossible goal. Musk didn't simply declare his intention to reach Mars. He developed a comprehensive plan addressing every aspect of the challenge, from reducing launch costs to developing life support systems to creating sustainable colonies. The SpaceX master plan exemplifies organized planning at its finest. Rather than attempting to reach Mars immediately, Musk created a step-by-step progression that would build the necessary technology, expertise, and resources gradually. Each milestone served multiple purposes: The Dragon capsule developed capabilities for Mars missions while serving the immediate commercial market. The Falcon Heavy provided heavy lift capabilities while demonstrating reusability, and the Starship program advances interplanetary travel while addressing Earth-to-Earth transportation. Tesla's organized planning reveals itself through Musk's systematic approach to transforming the automotive industry. The master plan progressed logically from high-end sports cars to luxury sedans to mass-market vehicles, with each phase funding the next while building the brand, technology, and infrastructure required for global adoption. This wasn't random product development. It was organized planning that accounted for market realities, technological limitations, and financial constraints. Napoleon Hill taught that organized planning must be flexible enough to adapt to changing circumstances while maintaining focus on the ultimate objective. Musk's plans consistently demonstrate this flexibility, adjusting tactics while maintaining strategic direction. When battery technology advanced faster than anticipated, Tesla accelerated its timeline. When SpaceX achieved reusability ahead of schedule, it expanded its mission scope. The power of Musk's organized planning becomes most evident during crisis situations. When Tesla faced production challenges with the Model 3, his organized planning approach revealed itself through systematic problem-solving rather than panic. He analyzed each bottleneck, implemented specific solutions, and created feedback loops to ensure continuous improvement. This wasn't improvisation. It was organized planning under pressure. What distinguishes Musk's organized planning from conventional strategic planning is its integration across multiple ventures simultaneously. His plans for Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and other companies aren't separate strategies. They're interconnected elements of a larger vision for humanity's future. This level of organized planning transcends traditional business strategy, creating synergies that amplify the success of each individual venture. Napoleon Hill identified persistence as the sustained effort necessary to induce faith, and Musk's career provides a masterclass in this fundamental principle of success. His persistence transcends ordinary determination, manifesting as an almost supernatural ability to maintain forward momentum despite obstacles that would defeat most individuals. This isn't mere stubbornness. It's the systematic application of mental and emotional forces that transform temporary defeats into permanent victories. The development of the Tesla Model S illustrates persistence in its purest form. When the automotive industry insisted that electric vehicles were impractical for mainstream adoption, Musk persisted in his vision of sustainable transportation. Through countless setbacks, technical challenges, and financial pressures, he maintained unwavering focus on creating an electric vehicle that would prove the superiority of sustainable technology. Each obstacle became an opportunity to demonstrate that persistence could overcome any technical or market limitation. SpaceX's journey to successful rocket reusability demonstrates persistence operating at almost mythical levels. After the first 3 Falcon 1 rockets failed spectacularly, conventional wisdom suggested that private space exploration was impossible. The aerospace industry had accepted expendable rockets as an immutable reality, but Musk's persistence refused to accept this limitation. He continued pursuing reusable rocket technology through failure after failure, each setback serving only to strengthen his resolve. The principle of persistence revealed itself most powerfully during Musk's personal crisis of 2008. When both Tesla and SpaceX faced bankruptcy simultaneously, when his personal fortune had evaporated, when critics proclaimed the end of his entrepreneurial dreams, his persistence transformed potential defeat into the foundation of even greater success. This wasn't just continuing in the face of adversity. It was the systematic application of mental forces that transmuted obstacles into stepping stones. Napoleon Hill emphasized that persistence must be supported by definite plans, burning desire, and accurate knowledge. Musk's persistence possesses all these qualities, creating a force that seems to bend reality to his will. His persistence isn't blind determination. It's intelligent persistence backed by systematic planning and continuous learning. When one approach fails, he quickly adapts and tries another, but the underlying persistence never wavers. The power of Musk's persistence becomes evident in its effect on others. His unwavering commitment to seemingly impossible goals inspires employees, investors, and customers to persist through their own challenges. SpaceX engineers work 18-hour days not because they're forced to, but because Musk's persistence creates an environment where extraordinary effort feels natural and necessary. Perhaps most remarkably, Musk has demonstrated the ability to maintain persistence across multiple ventures simultaneously. While persisting through Tesla's production challenges, he simultaneously persisted through SpaceX's technical obstacles and Neuralink's research complexities. This parallel persistence creates momentum that amplifies success across all his ventures, with victories in one area providing emotional fuel for persistence in others. The final principle manifesting in Musk's extraordinary journey is leadership, not leadership as commonly understood, but leadership as Napoleon Hill defined it. The ability to induce others to follow willingly through personal example and the systematic application of success principles. Musk's leadership transcends traditional management, creating movements that inspire individuals to achieve things they never thought possible. True leadership, according to Napoleon Hill, requires absolute faith in oneself and one's mission, and Musk's leadership demonstrates this principle with remarkable consistency. When he announced plans to make humanity multiplanetary, to revolutionize transportation, to merge human consciousness with artificial intelligence, his absolute faith in these visions created similar faith in others. His leadership doesn't just direct, it transforms ordinary individuals into extraordinary performers. The leadership principle reveals itself most clearly in Musk's ability to attract and retain exceptional talent across multiple industries simultaneously. The engineers who leave prestigious positions at traditional companies to join SpaceX aren't just changing jobs. They're responding to leadership that offers them the opportunity to participate in humanity's greatest adventure. This isn't leadership through authority. It's leadership through inspiration and shared vision. Musk's leadership style demonstrates Napoleon Hill's principle that true leaders lead by example, rather than through force or manipulation. When Tesla faced its most difficult production challenges, Musk didn't issue directives from his office. He slept on the factory floor, working alongside his employees to solve problems in real time. This wasn't publicity. It was leadership through personal example that inspired others to match his level of commitment. The power of Musk's leadership becomes evident in its ability to create what Napoleon Hill called a definite chief aim, shared by entire organizations. Tesla employees aren't just building cars, they're accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy. SpaceX engineers aren't just developing rockets, they're making life multiplanetary. This shared purpose creates energy and commitment that transcends ordinary employment relationships. Napoleon Hill emphasized that effective leadership must be based on understanding and sympathy, and Musk's leadership demonstrates deep understanding of what motivates exceptional individuals. He provides his teams with challenges worthy of their talents, resources necessary for success, and the knowledge that their work contributes to humanity's future. This understanding creates loyalty that survives even the most difficult challenges. Perhaps most remarkably, Musk's leadership operates effectively across completely different industries and types of challenges simultaneously. The leadership principles that drive innovation at Tesla work equally well at SpaceX, Neuralink, and his other ventures. This suggests that true leadership, as Napoleon Hill understood it, transcends specific industries or situations. It's the systematic application of universal principles that inspire others to achieve extraordinary results. As we reach the culmination of this profound exploration, the patterns become unmistakably clear. Elon Musk's extraordinary journey isn't the result of luck, circumstance, or even genius alone. It's the systematic application of timeless principles that Napoleon Hill identified through his meticulous study of history's greatest achievers. Every triumph, every breakthrough, every moment of revolutionary change in Musk's career can be traced back to these fundamental laws of success operating with mathematical precision. The burning desire that consumed Musk's teenage years, the mastermind alliances that amplified his individual efforts, the systematic transmutation of setbacks into success. These aren't coincidences or personality traits. They're the deliberate application of principles that have guided humanity's greatest achievements for centuries. When we understand this deeper pattern, Musk's accomplishments transform from impossible achievements into inevitable results of natural laws being properly applied. What makes this revelation so profound is its accessibility. The principles that enabled Musk to revolutionize multiple industries simultaneously aren't exclusive to billionaires or technological geniuses. They're available to anyone willing to study them, understand them, and apply them with the same systematic intensity that characterizes all extraordinary achievement. The gap between dreaming and achieving isn't filled by talent or opportunity. It's bridged by the consistent application of these fundamental truths. The most powerful realization emerging from this analysis is that Musk's greatest achievements still lie ahead. If these principles enabled him to revolutionize transportation, space exploration, and digital payments, imagine what they might accomplish as he applies them to artificial intelligence, brain-computer interfaces, and making life multiplanetary. We're not witnessing the end of an extraordinary career. We're observing the early chapters of a story that will reshape humanity's future. The ultimate truth revealed through this exploration transcends individual success. Those who understand and apply these principles don't just change their own lives. They become forces of positive change in the world. They transform industries, solve humanity's greatest challenges, and create possibilities that didn't exist before their arrival. This is the true power of Napoleon Hill's teachings, and Musk's journey proves that these principles remain as relevant and powerful today as they were nearly a century ago. The question that now confronts you is simple yet profound. Will you remain a passive observer of extraordinary achievement, or will you become an active participant in your own transformation? If this exploration has sparked something within you, if you've recognized patterns in your own life that could be amplified, if you're ready to apply these timeless principles to your own dreams and ambitions, then show your commitment by engaging with this content. Share it with others who are ready to understand that extraordinary achievement isn't reserved for a chosen few. It's available to anyone willing to study, apply, and persist with these universal principles of success.